Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Adamant Algorithm. This is Rain. In this video we are going to say how to make an object behave according to the characteristics of another object which is entering its premises. Well, I might sound like I have invented an artificial intelligence and implemented it, but of course not. We are actually faking the technique with a very simple couple of lines of code. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Well, this character might be an NPC or shopkeeper or whatever kind of non-playable object. And when an object enters its premises, it actually greets according to the object that is coming up, which is ice cream. And in this case, it says hello donut because it's a donut. And of course, it's actually a cupcake. Well, this is the end effect we are going to see at the end of this video, and I will show you how to do one by one. By the way, the technique we have implemented to do is a very simple trigger collider attached to that character, and along with it a couple of if statements, and we are done. Okay, let me clean up the project before I start with the project so I can able to show you from the scratch. Okay, here we go. The project is nice and clean. Now let me quickly tell you what are the objects I do have. I named the character as Mr. Candy, and I have a prefabs of cupcake, the donut, and the ice cream. Well, the sprites I do have in here is just a very, as you can see, normal sprites, and I extracted the character from my sprite sheet. And you'll be wondering, this is a UI, but of course not. This is actually a picture as well, and that's why we can achieve it using a couple of lines. So nothing fancy about these sprites I have created in Photoshop, so it's pretty simple. So now what we do here is, first of all, I need to keep those sprites. By the way, I have made the prefabs of these three sprites. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab these guys, put it over here. Okay, so like ice cream or whatever the order. Okay, now I'm just gonna grab them up and just move in such a way so this character says it. Okay, I think this is fine. So now I'm gonna move this and make them as a child of Mr. Candy, so no matter wherever Mr. Candy goes, they go along with it. That's the sole purpose of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable all these three, because I'm going to enable by the script. And when we have to enable is only when our ice cream greets the character, we need to enable only the greeting of the ice cream, and so on and so forth. So how to go about it is we are actually going to have a few things attached to Mr. Candy. First of all, as you can see, we have one collider which is attached to Mr. Candy, and we do have a rigid body that is set to kinematic because I'm not moving the character whatsoever in this exercise. And how to detect which character is moving near to our character? For that, we need to add another collider. Essentially, it's a box collider or whatever collider you want. You just go for edit collider. You need to extend this up to here so that, like, this is the deduction area, meaning any character, when it goes into this area, because we are going to make this collider as a trigger, and it will trigger the conversation. What we're going to do is, I think, no matter what, even if you want to trigger more, you can keep it as it is, but for me this is more than enough at the moment. And I'm gonna just finish editing the collider. Make sure that you guys do not forget to put a tick mark right here in the trigger. So now this collider is a trigger. Of course, you can have more than one number of colliders. Hope you know that. Now what we could do is, one more thing I have done already is, if you notice, the tag names, Mr. Candy has the player tag, and the cupcake has cupcake, donut has donut, and ice cream is having a tag name called ice cream. It's always a good habit to keep it. I usually say this to all of my friends and students. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the coding part where I will add one script to the Mr. Candy, saying that player script It's gonna be a new script, create an ad, wait until it is created. Okay, anytime now. Okay, it's done. Just double click, go to our IDE. Now let's go ahead and see the conditions. What is our condition is, if the ice cream, the object that is entering the trigger area, so if it is ice cream, then we need to go for ice cream conversation trigger. So for that we need to check if what is the condition we are going to say is, oops, sorry, not if, it's a trigger, right? So we're gonna go for on trigger enter 2D other dot game objects dot compare tag is ice cream, and we're gonna put that into a if statement, and that's so if the other object is going to be ice cream, we need to activate that object, because as you can see under Mr. Candy, okay, it's compiling now. Okay, and Mr. Candy, we have 3 objects hidden, correct? So at the time of starting the game, these will not be revealed, and we are trying to reveal it now. There are several ways you can access these, and one of the easiest way that I know of is accessing the children of the candy, because we are writing the script to the parent object, and from the parent you can actually access to the um, child object. So how to do that is, we are going to use the child index script logic. How to do that is, if other dot game object, so we're gonna go for transform dot get child. All right, so now it's waiting for index number, and I'm gonna give, I need to find the index. What is called an index is, see how many children are attached to this object, 1, 2, and 3. So now index is nothing but the order of those children. For example, if I need to access the ice cream, the order is, you might think it's 1, but basically as an array, like array actually speaking, the number starts with 0, 1, and 2. So essentially my first index for this hello ice cream object is going to be index number 0, and for hello donut it's going to be 1, and for the cupcake it's going to be 2. So which object we are talking about is, if it is ice cream, what is the index number of ice cream? It's 0. So I'm going to go for if transform dot if other compare tag ice cream transform dot get child, go to the index number 0, but game object dot set active is going to be true. That's it. So if it is going to be ice cream, set it true. Let's quickly check, because we are iterative in the production. We need to check everything before we go and fix the mistakes as we go. We play it. Okay, we move the donut just to check. Okay, nothing is happening. Cool. All right, so this works, so we should be happy about it, but there is one problem, because once it is activated, it stays there in our scene, which is not the effect we are looking at. We will fix it pretty soon. Now we do the same for the other thing as well. So what is the other index number? It's donut, correct? Donut must be index number 1. So if, so rather than going for another if, we can go for else if, oops, else if, I'm gonna copy it. Oh my god, just one second. Else if, control C, control V. The other tag is going to be donut, and change the index number. The donut index number is 1, and you don't have to say else if now, you can just say else, because this is your last condition. Else, if it is ice cream, do that. If it is donut, do that. If it is neither of them, then obviously we have only one choice, which is our index number 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and quickly check whether this works. All right, let's check with Cupcake. Oops, sorry, play the button. Okay, yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, Cupcake, donut, yeah, and oops, I think the ice cream is behind it. Okay, so now we have come this far. The only thing which is pending now is we need to find a way to destroy the created, I mean not destroy, we need to deactivate it after a few seconds. There are several ways of doing it. One of the easiest way is using the command called invoke. So how to go about it is we are actually going to go for the ice cream, choose one of it, open the prefab, go for a new script called destroy callout script. Sorry, I'm clumsy with the names. Okay, so double click, wait for it to compile. Did I open it? Double click. Oh, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a method saying destroy void sorry, void deactivate. Yeah, its name is fancy. Deactivate. So how you're going to deactivate is game object dot set active is false. Pretty simple. Okay, but when we have to run this method is $1,000,000 question. Now the thing is we need to find a way to wait for a while and run this. First of all, we need to find whether the object is actually active or not. Okay, so what we're gonna see is if game object or there is another way of doing it, which is checking the object exists in your hierarchy or not. So we're gonna go for a quick condition. If game object dot active in hierarchy is equal to true, we are checking whether the object is active or not. If it turns true, then what we are going to do is we're gonna invoke. All right, so invoke the method we have created called deactivate. All right, then how many seconds we are gonna do is, let's say, 2 frames per second. Okay, I think it should be all right. So we go here and check whether it works, and we are inside a prefab, so we're gonna close it down, let it to compile, and we have, please do remember, we have attached the destroy script only to the ice cream object, so we need to check the ice cream. It says ice cream. Ooh la la, that's it. All right, so the after 2 seconds it's actually deleted by itself. And oops, what happened now? Okay, if game object actuator is true, invoke. All right. Oh, okay, so we need to set active false. Yeah, that should be okay. All right. Oh, I must have triggered it again, that's why it was on. Okay, now it is okay. So what we need to do is we need to attach the same scripts to these guys as well. Destroy script, then hello cupcake again. Oops, open the prefab and attach the destroy script to this as well. So now go ahead and check if everything is working as intended. Now grab the cupcake, come back, agree. There we go, donut is working properly, and this one, and it gets deactivated again. There we go. So this is the effect we are looking for, and we have actually achieved it by using just one invoke method with a time interval of 2 seconds, and a pretty simple, like a shortcut to a more like an AI kind of thing, but of course it has nothing to do with artificial intelligence, it's more complex. Okay, so if you have come this far in this video, you might like the content of this channel and this video, so please do support me by subscribing, and I will keep all my videos free, and I would not give any advertisements. I'm not sure about YouTube. So Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for the support, and stay safe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.